everyone, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. You might think this is the same journal that I've previously done. It's this beautiful embroidered, it's called a punch stitch, bunch of lilacs. And I did one similar because it was all using the same large piece of embroidery cotton or linen. I'm not sure which that is. And I had cut it down and pieced some of them together. So the woman who really wanted the first one was heartbroken she couldn't get it. So I tried to piece together more to make a second journal. And her favorite colors for this were purple and green. So what I did is I went digging quite deep to see if I could find enough to make a second journal, and I did. Now this original book here is from the 40s. It's called The Home Book of Party Games, or the 50s. I'm sorry, I can look here. It is from the 40s, and it's a really funny book. I'm going to be using the contents of that in lots of my journals coming up. Just really fun home party games that they did back 80 years ago. Now we've got some pretty purple ribbon here and this exquisite, I'm sure she's going to love this, beautiful, you can see it's embossed and it's glossy and it's got this gold in the background and it's absolutely a piece of art, and it is from 1911. So I think she'll like the purple and greens in there. And then this here is, I found this at the bottom of one of my bins, just by coincidence that I was making this journal. I was looking for a different green hanky and I came across this one. You can't do any better than a lilac vintage hanky from 70s. That is pretty cool. I think she's gonna like that too. Stuff that in there. And then we're gonna keep going here. I've got this beautiful 1930s envelope corner here with the beautiful stamps on it. And this is from an old receipt booklet, the back cover page. And this is a vintage ledger, 1927 ad there. Some more of my vintage Monopoly money and this wonderful bingo card here from the 50s. And this is an actual, you can tell by the foxing on the back, that is a piece of tracing paper. Isn't that cool? From the 50s. I just love that it was purple. I couldn't believe I had it. And this is just a really fun 1950s recipe, and I have it in there because it's got some blueberry recipe, and blueberries tend to stain in purple. I know it's a stretch, but I'm including it. And then, hi Lacey. Sorry, Lacey's gonna visit here. We've got a great plate from the 20s. I've got this wonderful, this is beautiful. It is a 1930s or 40s greeting card for Valentine's Day, and it's got this beautiful satin. I don't know if you can tell, but it's very cushiony, so it's got cotton batting under it, and it's just a lovely, lovely greeting card, and I thought she would enjoy that. And more purple green here from this vintage Wildflowers North America page. Oh my goodness, Lacey just wants lots of cuddles. And then this purple pink dress here on this Beatrix Potter 1930s plate. Let's stuff that back in its little pocket. Isn't that amazing how much green and purple you can find? I don't have any more. I have completely, pretty much depleted my purple green supply except for some postcards. But here's a beautiful vintage doily as well there. And that is stuffed into an 1850s history page on England. And this here is also vintage, likely from the 60s or 70s. The original owner had the original pin in here holding the label on, so I left it tucked the point under. But it's this beautiful purple binding. Isn't it great? I just love it. Some more purple trim there. Another purple and green Wildflowers page from a vintage botanical book, as is this one, a vintage botanical book of a different kind. That one's on gardening. 1920s piece here, and just a really fun little ad here for garden clippers. And I actually inked this black and white antique book page here with some green and purple. Lovely little children's book page there from the 20s, and a plate there from the 20s, and another purple and green postcard here. And this one is probably about the same time, 1910. And people used to add their own glitter with glue, a little glue pen, and this one is from Iowa. Greetings from Iowa. And that goes back into its pocket here, and then I've got a 1938 Flinch card and a 100-year-old banknote, and then some purple ribbon on this tag that I made with antique paper. And then this is just a really great 1950s teen magazine page here. Hit Parader, just a really fun piece. I got a kick out of those. And that's all on top of this early 1900s handwritten thesis page. And this is a lovely Paris, France antique postcard. And I know that that is from 1936 because I pulled it out of a book. And there is an 1887 plate with all these beautiful silhouettes on it. I love it. I love silhouettes. They were very popular in the 1800s. And then a 1948 Fashions Through the Ages page. Another 1920s page. Unused recipe card there. Vintage. And 1927 ad down here. Grimm's Fairy Tales page from the 20s. And just that is the original spine from this book. And then I've just a couple of really great little vintage pieces here. And then that is, of course, a 1925 100-year-old children's workbook sheet, which I love those. I'm having so much fun with them. Another 1930s children's book page and a vintage dictionary page. Sorry, I'm trying to go through this quickly. There's so much in here. A vintage Trees of North America page and a pony page here from the early 1900s. And, oh, I just love this. I love this dictionary page here with an anvil. I just thought those were in cartoons. I didn't know they were a real thing until a few years ago when my son asked if he could buy one. And there we go. I just love this school book page. This is poor writing, and this is good writing, but it's very sweet. It's so sweet. I just love it. Oh my gosh, these just make me so happy. This is just a really great early 1900s plate. It's the model kitchen. The model, that was very modern, very modern. And this just from the 50s here, knitting instruction book. Happy Delights page topper there. And this is the early 1900s. Look at that beautiful owl. That is stunning. Another great plate here, and that is also early 1900s. What a sweet, look at this bunch of children here trying to catch a pig, and it says pig out. Another 1959 Stickum educational piece, more children's book pages, and a vintage page here that you can open up and journal on. And this one from 1886, hand typed, and that is an 1850s Hogarth steel engraving. And that brings us to the end. I hope she loves it as much as I loved making it. You can check out other journals I have for sale on Etsy, hyperstamper.etsy.com. Come back soon.